Hey everyone, this is John Assaraf, and I was just on an interview just a few moments ago talking about the law of attraction, the law of resonance, and in general winning the game of life. And one of the analogies that I gave the individual that was interviewing me was, imagine if you're in a helicopter over the city that you live in, and you were to look down at the city and you were to travel along the different roads in the city that you live in and the different neighborhoods that you live in. You'd have one perspective of the city. Well, imagine if you decided to go down into one of the neighborhoods and then get a different perspective on the neighborhood because you were walking around the streets and going in and out of the stores. Well, then imagine if somebody who was an expert on the history of that city was to take you around that same neighborhood and then gave you a different perspective of the buildings, how the city was developed, who were the pioneers of that city, what was the first part, the second part, the third part of that city that was created. And then if you imagine if you lived in that neighborhood for a period of 30 days. Each time you chose a different perspective, from the helicopter to the neighborhood to the expert to actually living in the city, each time you chose to experience and get a deeper perspective, the more you really have this feeling and knowing of what that neighborhood is like. Well, when we're talking about winning the game of life, there are many, many different perspectives. And so what is your process for learning the different perspectives around winning the game of health, winning the game of wealth, winning the game of relationships, career, business, or charity, or spirituality? Because each one of these, the different parts of your life, requires either staying up at the helicopter level or going deep. The deeper you go into upgrading your knowledge, your skills, your understanding, your awareness, the better you get at playing that game. So if you want to win the game of life, first you've got to determine, are you going to play the game at the kindergarten level where you're just basically having fun and not getting too serious about it? Or are you going to play the game at the high school level or the university level or at the pro level? Because at the pro level, you really have to have the ability to go deep into the knowledge, the skills, the strategies, the tactics, and the understanding of what it's going to take to play that game really, really well. So if you want to win the game of life, first make a decision. What does that mean to you? And then you've got to decide, where am I going to gain the knowledge? Where am I going to gain the experience? Where am I going to gain the skills and the strategy and tactics, the things that I need to do to win it at the highest level possible, or at the level that you want to achieve it? So to win the game of life, get serious about what that means to you, then take action.